I will say that I have a personal interest because I have a very close friend who has lupus, and I've taken care of patients who, because of the diagnosis of lupus, it's one of those diagnoses that you really have to be very familiar with the symptoms, because you can go from one doctor to another not being able to make the diagnosis. And as a result, complications can set in that might have been preventable if the diagnosis had been made earlier. And the public really needs to know what those symptoms are, and enough to suggest to the doctor, well, have you checked this out? So one of the symptoms with lupus is the issue that it involves so many different organs. It can involve so many organs. It can involve the brain, it can involve the lungs, it can involve the kidneys. But a lot of times patients are very weak. They may develop a rash on their face, and a special kind of what we call a butterfly rash on their face, but they can have other rashes on the other parts of the body. And they're very sensitive to sunlight. You can also develop some renal dysfunction with your kidneys, and so that's always a consideration to look out for. You may be short of breath or having chest pains and not understand what's going on, because it's not bronchitis, it's not pneumonia, but it sort of kind of can mimic that. And you can even, unfortunately, have some altered mental status as a result of an involvement of the brain. But there are great medications for this, and if you're on the lookout for some of these symptoms where you're just chronically fatigued, you don't have the energy like you used to have before, and you're very concerned about it, you may be anemic, think about the fact that you may have lupus. We see this predominantly way more in women, and for some reason, we don't know why, there's a higher incidence in African American women and women of color compared to their white counterparts. So we really need to be conscious of this disease. We need so many needed services for women out there who may not have the resources to get the care that they need, and so whatever the Marion County Public Health Department can do to help not only promote this, but try to encourage folks to bring any resources you have to bear in order to address this problem.